Here we have a new 2026 Nissan Kicks. This one comes in the SV trim level with front wheel drive. This is two-tone gun metallic with a black roof. We get charcoal cloth interior. Now the powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. That's mated to the Xtronic CVT, 141 horsepower, 140 pound-feet of torque. Front end here, we do get the LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights. I just have the running lights on now, but ever since this got its recent redesign, it really does. It's a looker, man. It looks so good even in this trim level. Just very impressed by it. Down here to these wheels, these are gonna be 17-inch alloy. We get passive keyless entry on the front. To the door panel, we get one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, rear window lock, power mirror controls, power door lock controls. We do get blind spot monitors in the side mirrors. Then a bottle holder here, hood release, auto stop toggle, manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. And then here is our manual 6-way seat, so we can pump the seat up or down. We can move the seat back, forward and back, and then the seat bottom forward and back as well. But overall, I think a pretty nice look here for this to be a cloth interior. Now, I want to give a huge thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Kicks today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Excuse the wind noise. But $26,545 sticker price. And I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out the rear space in the Kicks. So it's funny, I reviewed the Corolla Cross today, and this is about the same space that I had in that Corolla Cross. Maybe a bit more in the Kicks, honestly, but for the most part, what you'd expect from a compact SUV. There's a view of the front. Seat back pockets here, and there is the middle seat, and we have a grab handle right there. I am so glad we have the LED lights. We don't have the dim yellow lights there. What is that? I think I just found a flea on me. All right, so child locks, lock, unlock. You get those on both sides. And there's a look at the back end there. So love the tail lamps, love the overall just look at the back end in general. Manual lift gate there. And decent storage, I think, for this to be the Versa SUV. You lift this up and you have space for a spare if you want, but this one has a tire inflator kit. So it'd be nice to have both in there. As we come around to the right side here, capless fuel fill, takes regular. And then rear passenger seat, if you want to fold these flat, pull this up here. And you can see the top tethers are actually integrated on the back of the seats themselves. And then you just want to make sure the seat belt's out of the way. And you can snap it back into place. Your lower anchors are poking out right there on either side. Front passenger seat, we get a manual seat back, manual seat bottom, glove compartment there. And then as we come back around to the front, there's that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Now we're just gonna show off the blinkers. Actually, I wanna put these low beams on. So LED lights there. Love that for the turn signals. And then we have them on the front as well. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So although we get the kind of hard plastic vinyl, it still has a nice sporty look to it, kind of a flat bottom there. There's the horn. Now over here to the infotainment system, 12.3-inch screen here. That gives you AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, and you have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto compatibility. And then you have your settings in here. So your general settings, you can go in here and change your units of measurement. And then in your system settings here, you can change your language. So I'm glad that we have this bigger infotainment system here. Love that update, especially for this to be an SV. And I like the overall look of the screen on these better too. This reminds me of the newer Armadas. Like you feel like you're in an $80,000 vehicle instead of a $25,000, $30,000 one. There's the backup camera. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And I mean, it's pretty simple, but there's still so much that you can do here. Hazards, brightness, volume knob. Click there to turn the audio source off. And you can kind of seek here and go through all that. Another big plus is we get single zone automatic climate control. So we can adjust the fan direction here, turn the whole system on or off, temperature, auto by pressing that in, and then we can adjust the fan speed by turning that knob. Wireless charging pad here, which is a nice touch. 2 USB-C ports you can connect directly with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto that way if you want to. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage, automatic brake hold there, and then your drive modes include Eco, Standard, and Sport. And then to put this in gear, pull on the lever, reverse, neutral drive, and then you have that engine braking mode right there. Bottle holders, center console cubby space. There's a 12 volt in there, kind of hard to see. And there's a look at the back from up here. There's your vanity mirror, and then back to the front. Blinkers. You can activate your high beam assist with this button here on the side, or you can just use it manually. And then intermittent wipers are on this side. One time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust the intermittent frequency here, and then your rear wiper right here, intermittent on there. Push back for that rear fluid, pull up for the front. Now for volume on the steering wheel, right here, track list and radio station presets are there. Pull up your audio source and your driver assistance there through the shortcut menu. And then you can use this to go through the left side of the gauge cluster. And then when applicable, you can use this kind of scroll to go through what you have there. So you can see the engine temperature, tire pressure, monitors. So I like the setup there, and I love that we can have like a tachometer here. I really like that. That was smart. I feel like most people don't do that. They have all this info, but some of us just want to see a traditional meter there. And then over here, cruise control, so we can turn on the adaptive there. And then we also can hold it to go into the standard cruise. And then we can set speed, cancel, adjust the gap, Bluetooth, voice recognition. And then if you want the brightness to be adjusted here, you can do that in the gauge cluster. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Nissan Kicks SV out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the Kicks here, first of all, I'm so proud of Nissan for taking away the button and giving us 3 different drive modes. So we used to just have the standard, and then we'd have the eco button over here, and then we have the sport mode on the shifter. But now we have the switch like we have in a lot of the more modern Nissan. So if you want to change your drive modes, you don't have to make sure this is off and then turn this on. You just have either eco, standard, or sport. And I don't know why we haven't done this, why why it took us so long to do this. But that's a big plus over the outgoing year, I think, because we just have to like configure it. Now it's just, again, push of a button. Now, when the shifter's in drive, it's kind of hard to see, but if you know where the button is, not really a big deal as long as you just remember that, because you won't be able to see it from this perspective. But overall, it's what you'd expect from a Versa with a hatch. Again, like the Corolla versus the Corolla Cross. It has the same driving dynamics as the Versa. It just kind of is taller. But I'm glad they didn't try and put the 1.6 in this newer body style, because that engine is just, it's not enough for this size vehicle. The 2-liter is barely enough, but you still get that great fuel economy that you want from a Kicks, from a Versa. But they just really, I think Nissan did their thing with this model in particular. It's a lot better than the outgoing Kicks. It's, and I remember when the outgoing Kicks came out, everybody was like, oh, this is so cool. But it just reminded me of the Nissan Juke. This feels like a mini Rogue. And that's what a lot of people want in this segment. They want something that gets great fuel economy, doesn't even drive as big as an SUV, a small SUV. They want a compact car with more space. And that's what you get here. I'm not really hearing any sounds out of the ordinary. I don't want to say it's surprising, but it's impressive. All I can hear is my plate moving about in the windshield, but everything else, I'm not hearing any creaks, any rattles. And I'm listening for them. I think I can feel my seatbelt moving a little bit, but other than that, I mean, I'm very impressed with the overall sound in here. Now, I want to give a big thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, again for allowing me to review this Kicks today. I'll leave a link below in the description, but if you're looking to find the best price on one of these new, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. And if you're just here looking and you're wanting to get you know, something a little cheaper, save some money, and you want that older body style Kicks, maybe even an older body style Versa, hit that third link down below. Again, takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on any pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. But I do just like how this feels, again, more like a smaller Rogue as opposed to a Versa SUV in terms of the feel you get behind the wheel. This still feels relatively agile for what it is. The space is fantastic. It just happens to share more with the Versa, but it feels more like the Rogue in all of the good ways. You still have that feeling of compactness with the Versa, the same feeling, I guess, of saving money, fuel economy, all of that. And honestly, this eco mode has done a pretty good job at getting me up to speed when I need it, but then also just keeping the revs as low as possible to stay fuel efficient. But we are going to put it into sport mode now. It might take me a minute. I think everybody's getting off of work. Oh, today's my lucky day. Here we go. And something else I really like about this car is just how they did the speedometer here. You can see miles per hour, you can see kilometers an hour right there below it. It's just It's a very neat gauge cluster setup, I think. Now you don't get lane centering here, lane keeping system. You do get the adaptive cruise though, which is nice. But honestly, I'm not even touching the wheel. This sways a lot less than most other vehicles that I take down this interstate. It's been staying in the lines. Now as we come over here, it's gonna try and get off. But that was impressive with just how steady the wheel is. Just easy to coast down the road. It's not moving, and that just shows that it's not moving because it's staying still and it's staying straight. But sound acoustics in here are very good as well, surprisingly good. I was expecting to hear a bit more wind noise, but I'm not. And I think for the money, you get a lot here. I'm so glad they put this bigger infotainment system here, even on the SV. We have single zone automatic climate controls. We don't have the cheaper knobs and buttons and all of that. We still get a wireless charging pad, 2 USB-C ports, the adaptive cruise. This is a solid option for this price point. Not even including the drive mode that you can toggle between, the blind spot monitors, and then just getting the LED light bulbs throughout as well. I feel like Nissan really listened to the customer base past few years, because when you get an SV, you don't want to feel like you're in an S. And I feel like that's what the SV is this year. This feels like a borderline SL, and that's what you want. You want customers to feel like they're getting more for their money, and you want them to be pleased with their vehicles and not feel like you tried to, cheap out everywhere you could. So kudos to Nissan for that. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Nissan Kicks SV.